mean, I can see that you're definitely not like a 1.8k player. Like you're definitely a lot better than that. You know?
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of people
Thank you.
who will think like, oh, I'm better than this. I play with these guys, and I believe you that you do play with better players. Definitely.
Like I have Overwolf, so I actually know their ranks. Like I know that they're top 500 players because they're like 480 or whatever. In our league matches, there's like 1,000 players usually. It's like 1080 or stuff like that.
Right. If you like our content, please do like and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to click the notification button below so you will be notified when a new video will be released. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Let the people know who you are, what your MMR is, also maybe like your strengths and weaknesses, at least what you think your strengths and weaknesses are when it comes to Dota.
Yeah, sure. So my name is like Shursha15 or James. And I'm a position 5 player. I'm currently at 1810 for my MMR, but I play a lot of high skill games because I play in a league, and most of the league matches and the people on my team are Divines and Immortals. So I have to lane against like a lot of there's a lot of times where I'm laning against like top 500 people. And so I was finding that my laning is really good for my MMR and pretty good for like just above my pretty good for like up to like Divines. But then I was finding like I was getting wrecked by position 4s that were like top 500s, and they were like absolutely my pulls and creep equilibrium. So I was getting like wrecked by position 4s, and so I feel that my laning is really good, but I feel like sometimes in team fights my positioning is a little bad. And I feel like against like top like people, my laning isn't as good as them, obviously. But
Right.
Yeah, that's generally what I find.
Okay, so you're playing against people who are top 500 ranks. That's
yeah.
That's kind of hardcore, I must say. So what did you say was your MMR was again at the moment?
1810. I'm Crusader 2.
Let's go and check out what to do here. All right.
Cool.
So we got this game. You got pretty good build. You got the double fairy fires for the damage. You got your mangles. You really watch your top level support players, I assume. You got the healing stuff for your carry. So that's really good. So you got a lane ward bottom, all right, and here you're just trying to trade up with the Wind Ranger. This is generally pretty good. Okay, normally what happens on level 1, when you're trading with someone, it's okay to use your Q, but oftentimes you need to save your Q for your carry to try and get the range creep, or else obviously your opponent will try to deny that.
Deny the range creep,
Yeah, because it's not really easy for your carries to normally try and get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
My thought process here was, since I have the PA, he can dagger the range creep.
Yeah.
Like that, and so then I'm free to trade with the.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine.
Q.
That's perfectly fine.
Cool.
But obviously your Q does like way more damage. It's like twice the amount of damage like the PA does. So it's also really good to like guarantee that you'll get it. And also if the lane pushes a little bit, it's pretty good because now you can like kind of pressure them a bit, and you can have the option to be able to pull.
Right. Okay, cool.
So that was really good. So here, like, your position 4, like, he kind of got the pull off, which I think, like, you need to stop this from happening, you know?
Yeah.
So what you're doing is actually really good because you're constantly like hitting this Wind Ranger, like you're removing her resources, and if she has Wind Run, you can obviously purge it off, and your goal is obviously going to be to like try and block this, right? Level 1, I don't mind if like it's a hard lane. So normally if I'm a support position 5, I'm against a hard lane, I would just block the big camp,
like body block the big camp.
Yeah, 1 minute, just at 1 minute,
cool,
just one time. I would just body block the big camp because I know they have the stronger heroes, and they're going to be like pushing the lane into us and pressuring us.
Right.
Okay, so when the lane is pushing into us, you need to always consider that they're going to pull the lane back to like constantly manipulate the creep equilibrium. So
yeah, of course.
It's really good. Like 1 minute, you just stand here in the corner. If the Wind Ranger comes to trade with you, it's really good. Because what happens is if this Wind Ranger doesn't have this pull, this wave is going to be constantly in front of your PA. She's going to get that extra armor and HP regen under tower. She's going to be farming like crazy.
Yeah, cool.
Right, and then like the onus is on them to figure out how to pull this lane back.
Right.
Okay. So here you obviously want to pull the lane back, really good. And now the PA's
I have a question about
going
this
for
big
the tower.
camp pull.
Go ahead.
So I was talking to somebody about it, and they were thinking that the big camp pull is not good because it's giving them the opportunity to farm the big creeps. But my argument was that the whole point of it is like the creep equilibrium matters more than like for my carry than them getting to maybe partially farm that big camp. You know what I
Of
mean?
course, 100%.
Yeah.
True. That
Okay,
is
cool.
true. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
everybody's gonna make an argument for something, right? But at the
Yeah,
end
okay,
of the
cool.
day, what your carry wants is the wave to be in front of his tower so that he can farm under that aura of the tower and also get the last hits in a safe position. And then you have the option to
Cool.
run down your opponent. Secondly,
Cool.
when you pull the camp, the opponent is oftentimes gonna miss some creeps, and also
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to contest those creeps as well and take those creeps for yourself while also netting yourself some XP too.
Right. Okay,
Right?
cool.
Whatever makes your carry's lane easier, that's what you should go for.
Okay, cool. Cool. I just want to
Okay.
make sure I got that. I wanted to like have that
Right,
mindset
right.
correctly.
Right,
Cool.
right. Exactly. And this PA keeps on like buying healing salves and stuff. You don't need your PA to buy healing salves. Like as a position 5, the way that you're playing, the way you're pulling and stuff is like you should be constantly buying healing salves to heal up your carry so he can focus
Yeah.
on investing his gold into
Money.
these damage items.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
of course. Yeah, yeah.
I think this is the second healing salve this PA bought. So
Yeah, he buys lots.
that's not good.
Yeah, okay.
So it's
Yeah.
better that you like start with a healing salve, and then with your first 100 gold, you're even bringing out more healing salves.
More, yeah, just constantly buying regen to the lane. Yeah,
Yeah, so you're like trading with your opponent, and you're willing to use your healing salves on your carry. So you let him know constantly, hey, I have healing salves. We can trade, and then I'll heal you up. Just make sure you live.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and
Cool,
this PA
cool.
should buy like fairy fires in that sense, so that
Right.
he can
Taking
use
that more
that.
damage. Yeah.
Right, he can heal up, like he can bait out, he has more damage, he can bait out damage. Like if he has like 1 hit left before dying, if he clicks Fairy Fire, that's like 3 hits, especially under
Yeah.
the tower. And that way, he's
Yeah.
gonna pop that Fairy Fire, he's gonna go back into the tower, and you're gonna go there and you're gonna heal him up with yourself.
Right. Yeah,
then-
yeah, cool.
Your opponent's gonna be owned because they've been like trading with you and they don't have salves normally. Like offlaners
Yeah.
and position 4s don't buy healing salves normally. So
Yeah.
that's how you're gonna outplay your opponent and you're gonna come out ahead
Right.
in your lane.
And you're like baiting them into a bad trade.
Exactly.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay?
Cool.
So that's good because you're like a captain. Like you can actually tell your carry like this is what the plan is, you know.
Cool. Okay,
And go
cool.
from there. Okay.
Faith in fate restored.
So you get the nice build. You tell your carry to bring your items. He gives you some clarities. You clarity up. So I'm gonna go back a little bit here. Let's see when the guy died. So here, like I would 100% consider just going over here and try to get the stack on the small cap.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Because
So
there's nothing for me to do in the lane.
exactly. There's not only there's
Yeah.
nothing for you to do, you need to constantly keep your eye out on the timer because if you get a stack off and you pull the stack and you deny the creep wave, these guys
Right.
are like gonna cry, you know?
Right.
then
Yeah,
not-
yeah, yeah.
And your PA is also gonna farm on their tower and whatever, you know, it's gonna feel really good. In
Right,
that
okay.
sense. Okay? Because then that way you can deny everything and it's like again the onus is on them to get this XP and like not lose all this XP as well.
Right, right. Yeah, okay.
And I imagine at your bracket, like people are gonna just try to pressure the PA, and they're gonna lose an entire creep wave here.
Yeah, yeah. I especially find that at like like when I'm playing solo or I'm playing like dual queues or something like that with my like Archon friends or something, the games are way like the offlaners don't understand what to do as much. But when I'm playing against like way better people, the lanes are always way more tough, right? And so I find that I like I enjoy playing against these better people more because I learn lots more about the game and about
Yeah.
how like to lane myself, you know.
Exactly. So you just do that, right? Like you just think about
Yeah.
like the timer especially. I really like 150 seconds to go and pull back this.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
that the most because if you get that stack on 150, like generally
Yeah.
what happens is when you get that pull off, the lane's just over. You're just gonna out
Right.
XP your opponent really hard.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So like as soon as this dies and you get this range creep, like you should have already like been here, like stacking this. Going on the
Stacking.
side.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Because then now like you always have that option to be able to go and kill deny the wave.
Right.
Keep going here. Your PA just keeps buying regen like non-stop. It's really not good for the PA.
Okay.
It's really bad. Like, she should not be buying this much regen. And she should invest in a magic stick instead, because then they're like, it's much better. They're constantly spamming spells anyway. Oh, nice. Pretty decent trade, but the Wind Ranger's gonna end up killing their PA. No, she won't. I mean, that was good use of your spells, definitely. And then you TP back bottom and you kind of like trade your life for the Wind Ranger, which is okay.
Yeah.
Doom comes bottom. Oh, sorry, your Visage comes bottom and your Doom comes also to help him out. That's really good. And you're just kind of waiting for some items, it looks like. Oh, that was
one thing I'm really bad at is my Fairy Fire usage, by the way. So I'm super bad at it.
Yeah, you kind of like have to bait your opponents into that. And here, like, don't TP like this. Like,
yeah, the reason I TP'd was because I think my carry player was calling that he wanted to kill him or something really quick, or there was something else happening.
Yeah, don't feel pressured by that, right? Like, you just have to say, hey, okay, I'm on the way. I'll be there in 20 seconds. Because now if you hold your TP, you have the option now to like TP elsewhere and play with your other allies and kill other people too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
And now you got 2 wards as well that you gotta plant. You plant one in the lane here. Not bad. Put a sentry to see if there's a ward. You plant another ward on the bottom side. Really good. I mean, overall, I see that you really understand what you're doing. That's nice. Like I said, your laning stage is probably your, best part, which is good. And I can see that you do play well, like in your laning stage and your early warding and stuff. Now you get a ward on their ancients, which is really nice, but the opponent already had a sentry there. That's okay. Yeah, I just feel like the way that you guys play this, I mean, I assume this P is your friend, right? Because you guys queue together.
Yeah, it's a whole 5 stack, yeah.
Okay. Wait, is this ranked or is this like unranked?
No, I play a ton of all pick because I obviously can't play ranked with the Mortal.
Oh,
and the Divine.
right. Okay.
So we end up we play a lot of unranked for practices and stuff because our league matches are Sundays. So
no, it makes sense. Like in my opinion, this guy is like overly aggressive. Your PA.
Right. Okay.
And I think because of that, like his last hits are very minimal because he's not focusing on actually just the raw creeps and stuff and like kind of baiting your opponent into bad positioning and then killing them.
Right.
Like,
okay.
And the way you do that as well is by manipulating pulse. Right.
Right. Yeah.
And letting him know, because like the thing is, he keeps buying all his healing salts. He feels pressured that he needs to do something, like to get kills, to get that gold back in this lane. But in reality, what you guys should be doing is playing for experience.
Right. Okay.
So you play for XP, and then once you're like level 3, level 4, that's the time you can go take those opportunities to like kill your opponent. So it's a battle of attrition, and what you want to do is like you want to constantly bait your opponent, use your healing salves, and then like once you're high enough level, you burst them. And then the first waves is all about the creeps normally for your carry. Like you shouldn't think too much about like killing your opponent. Maybe you can harass them if it's good trades, but don't think about killing. Because the more you think about killing, the more creeps you'll lose, and the more creeps you'll lose, you're gonna lose your complete early game, and then that's gonna make you like way worse. Like now, like 9 minutes, 10 minutes. Look at this PH, she has 24 losses. It feels terrible, right? And she also has 4 deaths in this lane. Because and all these plays is not because they're making aggressive moves on you, it's because you guys are like trying to make aggressive moves on them.
Right. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle
so now you get some more vision, and then you make your way towards.
It was for the 10-minute. Yeah, it was for the 10-minute rune that I was trying to control.
Right. That's fine. Obviously, your Doom is like not going bottle, right? Like he's just. That's okay. Regardless, it's still pretty good that you're like checking runes and stuff for your allies.
And then I was sitting behind my Doom for the 10-minute siege wagon there, to try and help get the mid tower, but we don't have a lot of like pushing ability, so
I mean, you guys can still utilize this. I think your Doom needs to be skilling Scorcher. It's literally the best skill on this hero, but he went for like a different kind of build, I guess. Whatever works for him, I guess. I mean, we're not looking at him anyway. Yeah, no, I understand. Like, if you're gonna make siege plays at 10 minutes, like, you need to bring people. You need to bring a lot of people. You guys gotta be fast. You know?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna make this siege play, like you need this Quap to be here. You need like as soon as 10 minutes come, you need Quap to TP, and you need to be mid too, but you need to be in a more aggressive position in the mid lane. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Like as in like you're like right beside this guy and showing the opponent that you guys are gonna make a play on middle, and then being there makes your Doom feel like, okay guys, let's dive them, you know, and like go in with this here. Because what should actually happen is normally 10 minutes, if the tower is this low and your opponents are showing on the map like this tower is in like high MMR games, this tower is dead. Like this guy normally has level 4 Scorched Earth. He's gonna click that, he's gonna run after this Wind Ranger. This Wind Ranger is not gonna be able to power shot the creeps. Quap is mid, you're gonna keep hitting the tower, and then eventually the Doom just comes back, tanks a bit of the towers, and then like brings this tower at least really low, or like forces reaction from your opponent.
Yeah.
Like, forces reaction or the tower set, yeah, essentially.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. But instead, like, you guys kind of just let this Wind Ranger, you know, push this mid wave out on her own.
Right.
Like, you could tank a little bit and wait for this next creep wave to arrive and tank for you, you know?
Right, so it doesn't hit the siege creep. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then instead what happens is they come and they take your mid tower already. Like, that was a 100% opportunity for you guys to take your mid tower, especially you have Doom. You know, you have like a lot of really powerful spells at this point.
Right. So the thing that I'm just like curious about is my my positioning on that mid push. So standing in the tower range is better because like I'm just thinking about my kit, right? And then like saves and magic dispels and like I guess aggressive roots, but like don't I want to hang back and like let my Quap and Doom hit the tower, and then if they engage then I false promise somebody? Or
exactly, you can do that, but when you see heroes on the map like 2 bottom and 1 top, you know you can be aggressive on your opponent.
I'm more
like,
aggressive.
You have to think about like the positioning of your opponents on the map, right? You have to constantly look at that. If they're not already positioned there, how are they going to kill you? There's no kill threat on you, right? You have to think that it takes them 3 seconds to TP in minimum to try and get you. So in those 3 seconds you can do a lot. You can like be here in this position where the range creep is. You could be casting Q on this Wind Ranger, right? And making this Wind Ranger run all the way back here.
Right, yeah.
And during that time, your Doom will be like hitting the tower, and then your Quap is also hitting the tower.
Right, okay.
And then if they react to the pressure, then you like move yourself out. Like as a support, it's important to weave yourself in and out of the fights.
Right, okay.
Okay, casting spells in and out. When there's a lot of heroes there, that's the time where you want to be very cautious with your positioning.
Right, okay.
Okay, when there's no heroes there, you can be as aggressive as you want because you got the numbers.
Cool. Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, so that's like something you have to constantly think about. Because like the way you're positioning is not giving your Doom any confidence that he can actually go into this tower and do something.
Okay.
Right?
Cool.
So here you put a ward up here, which is really nice. Here your opponent comes mid, they take the tower, feels bad man. And then you guys just try to kill this support Wind Ranger, which is okay. And now you guys are kind of like just focused on farming, right? And playing around your triangle. You got an Arcane Rune. Your Quap and Mirana come top. You guys get a kill on this Juggernaut and Witch Doctor, which is really good. And then I like how none of your teammates are defending bottom. Dead lane. Forget about it.
Yeah.
I assume you guys understand that, right?
Yeah.
It's good. You keep playing around top. And I see you're not very hasty with casting your ult, which is really good too.
I played a lot of Oracle this patch, just because I think the kit's really good this patch.
Oh yeah, it's really good. It is.
Yeah. Especially that Purifying Flames cast time. Having it's insanely good now.
I mean, I can see that you're definitely not like a 1.8k player. Like you're definitely a lot better than that. You know?
Yeah.
Because you know you have a lot of people who will think like, oh, I'm better than this. I play with these guys, and I believe you that you do play with better players. Definitely.
Like I have Overwolf, so I actually know their ranks. Like I know that they're top 500 players because they're like 480 or whatever. In our league matches, there's like 1,000 players usually. It's like 1080 or stuff like that.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna go back a little bit here. Right?
Yes, do it.
And I need to tell you like a few points. Like, okay, so when you're playing position 5, you're getting a lot of farm, right? Because your Oracle, you're naturally gonna steal kills because that's how Purifying Flames work, right?
Yeah.
So what you're gonna want to do, not only as an Oracle, but position 5s in general, like you need
Yeah.
to buy a lot more sentries than
Radiant's
like
top tower
you
is under
actually
attack.
do, just to like make sure that wherever you're standing that there's no vision. Like you're already doing
Restricting
it right
their
now,
vision.
which is
Yeah.
good, right? But as you slowly progress more and more towards the map, you want to keep on dropping those sentries. Okay?
Right,
Like
okay.
in this game, you have like 900, about 800 gold and whatever, and like you see how like the opponent dewards this already. Like you need to make
Yeah.
sure, because you guys are like constantly playing here, like you're dewarding this, you're dewarding this, you're dewarding this. Wherever like you're ready to attack a tower or you see your opponents, like you keep on dropping those sentries and you keep on
Right.
like doing that. Like your items matter less than your like vision on the map. And you're
Right, yeah.
dewarding your opponent. Like that's just like number
Okay.
one priority. I'm not sure if like you have your mind like fixated on that, or you just feel like, okay, I prioritize my items more than like, let's say like you're like 500 gold away from something, you'll prioritize that over like getting sentries or something.
Yeah, so this was something I was gonna actually ask you about, because I feel like a lot of the time I gimp myself because I basically like this game was an exception because I was trying to prioritize my items more,
Right.
but normally the sentries are like out of stock.
Right.
And I feel like I feel like I gimp myself a lot by buying like too many sentries. Like when I was
Right.
watching the replays from like Puppy and stuff. And when I was watching them, he's only buying like 1 or 2 sentries, like pre 15, 12 minutes ish. He's buying like 1 or 2 sentries.
Right.
And I don't know, obviously, if that's something that they've like talked about, that they're like, oh, we're gonna like team fight around our vision, and so I don't have to buy as many sentries, and we're gonna play.
So, Puppy would be the one exception to this. Okay, because Puppy, the way that they play is like they play so much on pushing lanes out and playing off the vision that lane creeps provide. Okay, so they're not worried too much about these vision like getting them. Like they're just the best team in the world, right? So they know like how this works, and Puppy's like the greediest position 5 there is, right?
Yeah.
Generally speaking, like you don't want to sell out of your sentries unless it's like 30-40 minutes in the game normally, right?
Okay.
Like you want to have like 2 or 3 sentries on hand, but you're planting the sentries around like the areas that you know your opponent already played in or are playing in, pretty much.
Right. Yeah, it's basically when they could get vision down, or when they like
exactly.
where we want to play around to restrict their vision.
Yeah. So normally, like what I'm saying is, it's just a tip. Like I wouldn't prioritize my items over like sentries, pretty much, because if I deward my opponent or I know there's no vision here, that means my teammates can play freely. And on top of that, like if you do deward, then you get gold back anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So that's still very good for you. But the biggest point is like, maybe like for every 2 sentries, you might find 1 ward, and then that will pay you back for the sentries that you spent.
For the 2 sentry pack.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And also your carries and your cores can farm freely or fight freely without knowing your opponent's vision's there.
Right. And then they feel safer because they know there's no vision in that area.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
that makes perfect sense.
Because like right now you guys are top, but it feels awkward because what if they have a ward and a sentry right out here?
Yeah.
Right? So they know everything that's gonna transpire in this next engagement. So, like, before a fight breaks out, you want to make sure you're dropping a ward and a sentry in a fight.
Right, yeah. To
So
get vision in the fight, to make us play around the fight, basically, and make sure they don't have any vision. Yeah.
Exactly.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So this is good. You ultied your Quap, I believe there, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Your PA kind of went a bit too ham. Or jumped in onto the Wind Ranger.
Radiant's top tower
And then kind of died to the Wish Doctor and the Visage,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So like all these fights are pretty good if, let's say, like 1, your Doom is there, or 2, like your PA is actually farmed.
Right.
You know? But like in this situation, I feel like your PA is the position 2 or position 3, and your Doom is your position 1.
1, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty fat though. I'm not gonna lie. He's a pretty insanely farmed Doombringer.
Radiant's top tower.
That's for sure.
Radiant's top tower. Dire's middle
So like in these engagements, like if you guys are not bringing the Doom in, then I'm not entirely sure if like, these fights are worth it for y'all.
So this was something where, so I knew they fought top, and then I figured they probably went to go get vision down in the triangle because they know PA wants to farm in the triangle, and they can roach pretty quick with medallion visage, right? So my mentality here was like, oh, we need to restrict their vision in this area. But like, should I have just brought people like after this, like basically where I'm about to die, And so I was wondering about like should I bring more heroes to go D-ward, or like should I just give up that area for a while until I see their vision retreating?
Wait,
like,
right now, before this fight, or after this fight?
No, after this fight. After
Okay,
this fight, we
so
basically die.
I just wanted to mention something. Like, you see all these heroes are top, right? Like, what you guys should have done was, like, first of all, I think you should have a smoke, right? At this point, you should have a smoke, and your Doom's bottom.
Yeah.
And he pushed his lane and he made a reaction happen, right? You see all these heroes top. Now you have two options. You either fight these guys, like you bring your Doom in and you fight these guys, but Doom doesn't want to come because he has Score Shirt on cooldown and he's half HP, right?
Yeah.
So what you guys can do is you can leave someone top and you guys can smoke 3 heroes and go middle.
Right, okay.
Okay? Because what you're trying to do is like you're trying to build up items on your PA and whoever, and like you're defending top, and this Visage is like really strong. And if your Doom doesn't want to come fight because he also doesn't have Doom, then you should try to like avoid the clashes on the side lanes and try to attack the mid lane here.
Okay.
Okay? Because if you use a smoke and you go middle, right? And someone shows up mid by themselves, they're dead. And if they're not dead, then you're pushing this tower in, and if your opponent tries to trade for top, then you get the mid tower for free. Like, not for free, but
which
you
is
will
more
trade
important
top
than
for
the top
mid.
tower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll get mid tower for the top tower. If not, what normally happens is everybody tries to defend the mid tower, and they're going to try to TP in mid one by one, and you're going to naturally, like, either kill them, or if there's too many, you back off, and then the guy who was defending top is going to push this tower in, is going to get a free tower top.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like outplaying your opponent.
Right, okay.
Right? Because what happened here was like you guys fight, but then like it ended up being a 5v5 and your PA just died. Or sorry, 4v5. It ended up being like a 4v5 and your PA died.
Right.
Yeah. So you can always think like if your opponent, especially a hero like Visage, if you think they're too strong, like try to bring them somewhere and attack somewhere else on another side of the map.
Right, like to manipulate them around the map rather than us going to them.
Exactly.
Basically.
Instead of
Makes
like,
perfect sense.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to run into a brick wall, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, so let's keep going, and after this fight, you're alive, your opponent is still trying to push top, now they get the top tower for free, and what Quap is doing here is really good, but she needs to like push this really quickly. Oh, she has like max Shadow Strike build, so she ain't pushing anything quickly at all. So here you TP onto the tier 2.
Dire's middle tower.
And
we saw them go in here.
Yeah. So,
and I felt safe here.
Yeah,
I felt safe here because I had a Mirana and a PA farming just below me.
Yeah, no, it's not safe
right?
at all.
Okay.
It's not safe. Don't do that. Because, like, if the Visage was, like, actually good, like, he would have killed this, he would have walked into this camps anyway, and if you walk there and he's on the hill there, you're instantly dead. You're feeding yourself.
Which is exactly what he does.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower
Yeah.
Is that what happens? Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly what happens.
Okay, yeah, that's terrible. Like, you should always think, like, oh, they're here, they're all here. That means, like, I need to, you know, make my way mid and maybe plant a ward middle or something and wait for them to get out of this area, and then you go in here and start dewarding.
Okay, that's exactly what my question was. Beautiful.
Yeah. You should always wait for your opponents to leave an area before you go to deward. Like, the only time you're running into them and dewarding is when you're, like, smoked and you're trying to fight 5 versus 5.
Right, okay.
Right? Because if you're smoked and you're going into the hill and you know they're 5 here, then you're going to drop a ward and a sentry here, and then you're going to take an engagement.
Right, okay, cool.
Right? But if you're, like, here because, you know, they just took a tower, like, walking up like this is just feeding, essentially.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, let's not do that. And now you put yourself on another 30-second timer. You have 3 more wards. It feels terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, good thing your Doom showed up for the fight, took the tower. And now you start planting some sentries. You don't see this. So, when you're planting sentries, obviously, like,
preferably playing on the low ground and stuff
like
that.
Like, it's like plant on the low ground, use your courier, right? To, like, spot out. Because you could be having the sentry, like, up here, and then you can put this sentry, like, down here, so you can see this area and this area at the same time.
Right, okay.
Like, you want to cover as much area as possibly can with sentries. And because you, as a 5, and you're playing Oracle, you're camping heroes anyway, you're going to have plenty of time to be able to, like, do all that stuff and, like, still be able to be in the fights, like, when they breaks out. Because the fight just finished. There's not going to be another fight instantaneously.
Yeah.
Right, so...
And
you can just,
what's your philosophy on taking, like, pushing, because obviously our Doom is, like, super far ahead, like, he's like almost double the sniper who's the top net worth, right? So what's your mentality on, like, what we should we be pushing that advantage because our Doom is so, but our, like, PA is so far down, right? And PA is more of, like, our win condition than our Doom. So, like, what's your mentality about, like, taking those kind of fights?
Okay, so I think at this point in the game, the most important thing is you got to tell your teammates to push lanes out, right? Like, look at these lanes where they are. Your wave is here, one wave is pushing out, one wave is here. This is terrible. And and when I mean pushing lanes, I don't mean like all 3 lanes. I mean like at least 2 out of 3 lanes.
Right.
Like you want 2 out of 3 lanes in your favor. So if Doom is pushing top, then your Mirana should be pushing middle.
Right.
And what that does is because you guys will push 2 lanes like this, then your PA, everything behind those 2 lanes she can farm freely.
It's safe. Yeah.
Right? That's what you want to do in the game. You don't want like your
Right.
Mirana and Quap to like be playing behind Doom like this. It's just ridiculous, right?
Yeah,
and now
okay.
you're the one pushing the lane out as like a 5 who doesn't even push lanes out. Now that being said, if you were like a Winter Wyvern, whatever is going on would be perfect.
Or Jakiro or whatever, like
Sure,
I can just shove the lanes out. Yeah.
Exactly, because you can just shove the lanes and your team can play off the map and like play with your kill hero.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
a lane shoving here. Yeah, okay.
Exactly, and the PA will also be very free to like farm everything.
Radiant's bottom tower is
And
under
after
attack.
you get those 2 lanes out, what you do is now play with your 4 heroes and let the PA farm behind you guys. So you guys are essentially creating a shield for your Phantom Assassin.
Right, okay.
Okay, so if you guys play as 4 and like you 4 are like playing between these 2 lanes and you just give up bottom, then your PA can farm all of this, and then now you guys are creating a shield for your team. So this is like the carry shield, you know? Something
Yeah.
like that. And you want to be obviously as an Oracle playing between those 2 lanes and helping whoever needs help.
Yeah, exactly. With my kit. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Okay. So now you have 4 wards, right? So what do you think you should do right now?
Ideally, I'm gonna go get like aggressive positioning. I probably should grab like a smoke and then smoke us to go kind of either look for a fight or get more aggressive positioning.
Okay.
With our wards, so that I can see the Visage rotation and the Jug rotation.
Okay.
Because those are the heroes right now probably that like really like mess my PA up. And try to like like if I was them, they probably smoke to our jungle, like our bottom jungle, because that bottom lane's pushed in, and so they probably gonna get like ward vision down there. And like then my PA makes a rotation into the jungle, they're gonna go kill him.
Okay.
So that's what I would do in reaction. Yeah.
Perfect. So what you said was amazing. Smoke, right? Use the smoke just to get vision on the map. Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm sure you guys have like 2 smokes. I don't think you used any smokes.
Yeah, we do.
So that's why early game already, like you want to be stocking up on those smokes so you can like be able to use those smokes to plant your wards, you know, liberally, right? Like you don't want to restrict yourself like with your smokes because you only have 2 of them, right? That's why you buy it early. You put it on a timer, and then like when you have too many wards, like 2-3 wards to plant, you pop that smoke. You just go out and plant vision. If your team doesn't want to fight, you can just pop your smoke on your own and go plant wards. If your team wants to fight, then smoke, but think that your main goal is actually to plant vision and let your team like do the whatever they want to do.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So and my philosophy is like I want to put at least 2 aggressive vision and 1 like defensive vision.
Okay.
So that you can see everything on the map essentially.
Okay.
So,
okay, that's perfect. That's a really good rule of fall. Thank you.
Right.
That's
so let's say like you said you want to see Juggernaut and Visage and they want to push bottom, right? So perfect.
Yeah.
Why not plant like a ward like down here or like down here on this hill or something?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That way you can see them farming this camp or running through this vision to like plant vision here or pushing bottom. And then you can use your smoke to like go out and maybe plant vision top area so you're also prepared for the Roshan.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So if you guys get any kills like around mid or top, then you can just instantly go Roshan with your heroes.
Right, yeah.
Right? You have PA, you have really good physical damage, you can do that easily.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Cool.
Yeah. So this is where like you kind of want one of your wave clear heroes to stay mid and constantly push his wave out, and then you can have another hero like pushing top out.
Right.
And then you can play like in between.
Not going to the dead lane or anything, yeah.
Right, and you can play in between top and mid, and then you can just help whoever's there. And then when the fights break out, then you guys are all like near each other anyway, and you guys can help each other in the fights.
Yeah, cool.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, like what you were talking about before about rotating between the top and mid in the jungle area, yeah.
Right. So here your Doom starts a fight. Amazing, perfect target to Doom. The Visage. You guys kill him, but you see your positioning. You gotta be like, you know. Here you should have been saving your Doom, 100%, right?
Right.
So let's go back. Let's go back and see like what happened, why you were even there in this positioning.
Yeah. Okay.
So a fight breaks out, and what do I say when fight breaks out? You want to plant a ward in the fight.
Yeah.
So you can see everything. So your
I get a
teammates
word on
can-
the high ground here.
Right. So this is good. But you see, the
Yeah.
positioning is like you're on the high ground, but you want to be more on the low ground because you know your teammates
Right.
are up front and they're gonna run back. So the reason
Right.
why you can't go in here and ult this guy is because there's a juggernaut and a
The
sniper
juggernaut.
blocking you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
But if you were
Exactly.
down the hill, then you would be completely fine here,
Okay. Cool.
right? Like you want to be playing behind your teammates, not on the bottom
Right.
side over here.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so you kind of
And
like
then
click this guy, but like okay, so early game it's okay for you to, you know, be aggressive and cast spells offensively. But when it's like mid game and fights breaking out, you don't want to be casting spells offensively. You want to be thinking like, how can I keep my teammates alive? As an orc.
Right. Okay.
So if you think that way, then you're not gonna be positioned like this.
Yeah.
Right? Like the reason why you're positioned like this is because you're thinking like, okay, we're gonna kill this witch doctor.
Yeah.
But your goal is to like make sure your teammates are alive, so your teammates can constantly dish out spells and dish out damage in the fights.
Right. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Because when a fight breaks out, your opponent is not gonna just sit there and do nothing, right? They're gonna be like attacking you. They're gonna fight back. So
Yeah.
if you were able
and
to
as
save this dude, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and as an Oracle, I usually get jumped on. I think one of the demos I sent you was like there was a TA that was like jumping on me and shit because they're like thinking that I'm gonna like save the people right in the
Right.
back of the fight, which is logical. But yeah, my positioning there was really bad. You're right.
Right. So the best thing for you to do is like be. So your Doom was here, right? And your opponent is up here. So if you're up here, then they need to run through all your cores to get back to you in the position over here to kill you.
Right.
Right? So what you're doing is you're making that gap between your cores and you so that your opponent needs to run through all your cores to jump to you. And if they do that,
Right.
they will lose the fight every time.
Right.
Even if they
okay.
kill you. Because they're putting themselves out of position to kill you. All you would
Right.
have had to do was drop the ulti on your Doom.
Right. And then he lives and it's fine. Yeah,
And then
okay.
he
That makes
kills
perfect
everybody.
sense.
Okay?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you position yourself like to the sides of the fight, then it's really awkward.
And I'm
Like-
making myself useless in the fight because I have to run through all their cores to get to my heroes. Yeah, that makes
Exactly.
perfect sense. Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower.
So think about that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower.
So here you kind of show yourself mid as very dangerous moves as an Oracle, definitely.
Yeah.
So what you want to do, like if you find yourself doing nothing, like you should just keep tossing Fortune's End on creep waves, because that would naturally push the lane out, right? Just by doing
Yeah,
some
okay.
damage.
Yeah.
So here you can see again, like you have 3 wards. This feels really bad, you know, like when you have 3 wards in
Yeah.
your inventory and you're not buying smoke. So that's probably like something you have to constantly think about. Like it's 23
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
You know, I think you've had like 4 or 3 words in your inventory for like 4 minutes now. But ideally, like you're using that way earlier to keep up the momentum for your team.
Yeah.
So you drop the ulti on your Doom, you save him, Doom drops an ulti on the Juggernaut, and that's it. It's over. The fight's over. So let's go back here a little bit again. And what happened was, like, you see how the Doom like kind of ran up the hill like in the low ground,
Yeah.
and he gets spotted and he's like under a ward, and you guys have like no vision in this engagement, right?
Right.
So this engagement was like a trap to begin with. Okay.
Yeah. And
So
they
if
probably
you-
they have vision on their high ground.
Right. So if you want to
Click
smoke
for the right, yeah.
and you want to do something, you guys should be smoking to your ward, your vision that you already
Right.
have.
Yeah.
So that way you already know who's there and who's gonna be there, instead of like smoking
Right.
straight up into a black area of the map here.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So if you smoked here, then along the way as you're going, you could be dropping wards off and sentries,
Right.
and then you could be catching
Okay.
someone.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
So now again, if you're with the same dilemma, you have 4 wards, you got Doom up, you should definitely be like asking for a call on Doom here, or sorry, a call on smoke,
Okay.
and like smoking into your vision. If you don't find kills, then you're
Right.
dropping off like 3 wards somewhere that they
Right,
won't be
yeah.
ward. Okay. See, like this is super dangerous, like just casually walking into the jungle like this,
Yeah.
especially if you're not dropping sentries first, because if if sniper saw you, I think you're gonna like.
Dead. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom is under attack.
So I'm just gonna watch like one more fight and see what happens in the next
Yeah.
engagements.
Believe it or not, we do win this game. I can't remember.
Okay. All right. So here, same thing, right? I'm a emphasize this because like you gotta do
Yes.
it right in the future.
Yeah.
a fight breaks out, and look what happens. You have 3 wards again. Just drop the ward. Drop the ward like here on this hill. So you can get some vision and your teammates can jump somebody.
Right, okay.
Right? Or go down here and drop the ward here. But you gotta keep remembering that you need to play behind your course. You cannot be the one advancing in front of your course ever.
Yeah, okay.
Especially as an Oracle.
Yeah.
Okay? So drop a ward here. You have 3 wards. No problem. You have other wards, offensive wards anyway. You have so many. Just drop a ward here. See if there's a ward here as well. Right? If you drop it. If there's a ward here, you de-ward that so they can't jump you back. Because the most important thing as an Oracle is you not playing into your enemy's vision.
Right.
Because if you're playing into your enemy's vision, that's the only way you're dying.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay? So you drop a ward here. You allow your sentry to see if there's a ward. If there's none, that's fine. You get to it's like there's so many reasons why you need the vision, right? To de-ward your opponent, to get vision for your allies to jump your opponent, and to make sure that you stay alive in the fight. Because then you can maneuver around your opponent, okay? 1 ward here. Or you go down here, you drop a sentry here to make sure that you're de-warding this. Let's go into their vision, see what they have here. Boom. There's a ward here.
Yeah.
You see that? So you need to be prioritizing and planting the vision or de-warding in the fights first. But because of this ward, look at your opponent's vision in these fights. Look at that. They see everything.
It's like perfect, yeah.
They see everything. Actually, these guys should be jumping you right now. They should be killing you instantly. The only thing is this Juggernaut is not in the fight.
Right.
So that's what happens. So if you look from their perspective, you're like you're like chicken dinner right here.
Yeah, free kill, yeah.
Right? You're like chicken dinner because you're just like walking to your vision. So how you stop that is you have to think like, okay, we're running into a black map. My opponent has vision. I need to like put sentries on these high grounds and I need to put wards on these high grounds. So I'm the one seeing them instead.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Right. That's where it's like worth like de-warding this and then putting a ward here and you play behind your heroes. Because look at the way that you're running into this fight. You're kind of like, you know, a bit far away from your allies. You see what's going on? Like, they found you. But actually, it's good because, you know, they're also fucking up. They don't have a Juggernaut in this fight, so they're taking a 4v5 engagement. But in normal games, what would happen is you would be dead right now.
Yeah, in higher caliber games, yeah.
You would, like, if your opponent has 5 heroes, I mean. I don't even mean high caliber game. I'm just saying, like, you would be dead because they would have 5 heroes.
Right, yeah.
Okay? So you need to think like how you can play in the most like pussiest positioning ever, but still be in the same range to be able to cast your ultimate on someone.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you do end up dying. They focus you, right? They focus you here. But if you're like playing down here and like playing towards your allies more, you would not die and you would be able to drop an ulti on your allies instead and let them run and kill them, and you can keep healing them nonstop.
Right. Okay.
Right? Because this fight will go on forever as long as you're not the one being jumped and you're not the one dying. Because you're the healer. You're the one healing your allies and saving them.
Right. Okay? Right.
So you can see like your weakness here, like in this, like you have 4 wards again. You know.
Yeah.
You have 4 wards again. So this is why like this fight ends is because you guys have no vision of your opponents.
Right. Cool.
Radiant's top tower is under
Okay,
Radiant's
fine.
bottom tower is under attack.
So yeah, you can be a bit more liberal with your words where you plant it and such. Here you see, this is where like you wanted to have like more sentries because you know that your opponent came through here and you're gonna need a lot of sentries to like de-ward all the high grounds that they may have been through, you know? This is where like 30 minutes, around 30 minutes, you're already carrying like 4 or 5 sentries typically.
Right.
Because you're playing like a larger part of the map.
Right, okay.
Because obviously if you like, so here like you get a D-ward, really good. You get your gold back. And now you guys are playing, and now you plant another really good aggressive ward, which is nice. So you see here like, what's going on is you guys are trying to defend top, but you're not like kind of covering the high ground area which they can come from.
Right.
Right. Which kind of sucks. And then like if that's the case, then you guys should already be like kind of backing off in this situation.
Backing, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna stop right here because
yeah, that's cool.
I think for this replay is fine. I want to watch another replay with you, your other one. So like we're just gonna get through whatever we learned in this replay, right? First of all, laning stuff, about 2 minutes, you know, like think about if you can pull your carry. He needs to prioritize way more on his items than he is actually prioritizing. Like he's buying too much regen in my opinion, and you want to take up that role, right? You want to buy those healing salves, you want to heal up your PA, let your PA buy the wraith bands and shit, right?
Yeah.
So he can fight stronger in the lane and play for that, you know, 3-minute marker where you get your level 2 purifying flames, and that's when like you're gonna go hardcore on your opponents if you want to get kills.
Right.
Before that,
Right.
you want to play that, you know, war of attrition and just like kind of play for your lane, the pulls, you know, the regen, the resources, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Secondly, we talked about, you know, the catapult timing. If you're gonna play with the catapult timing, you can run at mid, but make sure that you bring more heroes. You call for more heroes to come mid, and you overwhelm them with your spells. Like you look at the minimap. If people are split up and they only have one hero mid, make sure you jump that guy. You know, make sure you surround the tower. Make sure you go and engage on them, and you make the plays happen.
Cool.
Right. Third thing, we talked about sentries. Obviously, if you're playing somewhere, make sure, or your opponent plays somewhere, make sure you try to deward that stuff, because sentries, like, they pretty much pay for themselves. They last forever, and you eventually get some wards off that. You're gonna get your gold back anyway. Third. Was that third already, or was that fourth now? Anyway, whatever. Next point. I hope, like, I mean, you should probably be writing this stuff down, because like it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fourth was your positioning in the fights, right? Like play max distance to your allies, but close enough to be able to like walk in and ult them, right? And then that way you're like you're pretty much playing like 2 screens away from your opponents, because you can ult like almost one screen, right? And you're gonna want to be in between your allies and that one screen, and then one screen away from that, it's gonna be your opponents in the fights.
Right. Okay.
We're talking like, you know, 17 minutes in the game pretty much and on. Like early game, when it's like small skirmishes, it's okay for you to like run in and cast spells because you're a beast, right? You're doing like 700, 800 damage in fights.
Yeah.
With your skills, you want to do that. But later on, you're like this hero who's constantly trying to save people. So like if you get too close to the fights when you're trying to save people, it's really bad. That's when they're gonna jump you and kill you. The time that you can completely like commit to the fight and like follow your allies into a fight is when you've already overwhelmed your opponent, where they're the ones like running away from you now.
And the smokes at the early game as well.
Yeah, let's buy the smokes early. That's true. We did mention that as well. Buying the smokes early on, like let them, even if you're not gonna use it, it's only 50 gold. Let them go on a timer. Hold one. So you can like use the smoke to like, if you especially find yourself having too many wards, like use the smoke to plant the vision.
Okay,
so
cool.
Your opponent doesn't see you plant the vision.
Right.
And that way your teammates can like go out on the map and make plays or whatever as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then we talked about how when fights break out, you need to drop a ward in the fight.
Yeah.
And drop a sentry, so you guys can like, you know, you can see if you're sitting even under a ward if a fight breaks.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, because like Oracle and camping hills with wards and sentries is like, you know, that's like a match made in heaven. You know, you just that's your safety, right? That's how you know your opponent can't jump you, because you're always gonna see them walk into your vision. And when you see them walk into your vision and they're not jumping your allies, you know they're coming for you.
Yeah.
So what do? You run away. You walk away. You make your allies like hit your opponent while you run away, and then when they turn around to fight your allies, that's the time you turn around and take the fight. That's an Oracle.
Okay, cool.
All right, you're always trying to bait your opponents in that way.
Okay.
Okay, but you don't want to put yourself in danger at the same time.